Day 2 of the Digital Motorsports ICCR here at Mondello Park. It's great to be back racing. There's a great atmosphere around, full grids, packed paddock as you can see, and we had some great racing yesterday. I don't expect that to be any different today. The Irish legends are heading out now for their first race. You'll see them behind me there in the pit lane ready to go. Motorbike engine cars, they always give us great entertainment. We've got loads of other classes racing today. We'll be live with all of those races, and we've got 3 races before lunch. So we've got the Celtex Safety Fiesta Zetecs and the Coffee to Go Fiesta STs straight after these legends. So I'm going to head back into commentary and we'll get going with some exciting coverage here. So the BMW Ireland M3 competition safety car leads the Legends round. Great to be back on the live stream here. Thanks of course to the Beacon Hospital for helping us out there. And Digital Motorsports, the title sponsor, back on board again this year with the ICCR. The ICCR, an initiative new in Irish circuit racing to promote the sport. A lot of new angles and initiatives in terms of promotion. It's worked very, very well. The grids are up. The grids are up so far that actually Mondello had to apply and get the grid size, the maximum grid size increased because of the Fiesta Zetecs this weekend. There are 38 drivers registered this year so far, 34 entered. And we previously could run 28 on the national track, now we can run 34 cars. So absolutely fantastic stuff, and legends out there now and getting ready to go. So Greg Richardson on pole position and Peter Barrable alongside him, probably the 2 quickest guys in this class, although some others may dispute that, but certainly 2 of the hard chargers out front. You can expect them to really go at it here. Rolling start, as you see, the BMW Ireland safety car comes in and away they go. Great sound. Peter Barrable on the outside going as late as he can on the brakes, and he manages to lock, oh no he doesn't, I was going to say he came across the bows, but locks the inside front. That sends him wide, then he goes sideways on the way out. No problems at all for Greg Richardson, who takes the lead and pulls away now as the pack streams through turn 2. Then it's Gary Humphries, Anthony Malone, Lee Malone, David Yamamoto, Seamus Ryan, Gordon Brown and Barry Hallion, who just entered yesterday in a rented car. Barry Hallion, car number 21. There's 50 making a move. That's Yamamoto, I think. Is it down the inside? Indeed it is, making 2 places out of turn 3. Great stuff there. This track has been resurfaced all the way around, from halfway down to turn 3 all the way around and back to the second bit of the S's. Peter Barrable has composed himself a little bit there and is now tracking down Greg Richardson, 2 of the quickest legend pilots around. Yamamoto and is that Gordon Brown scrapping away there. So Richardson not bothering to defend. High and wide into the final corner. Here they come out onto the main straight, Richardson and Barrable together and pulling away now. So the order of Richardson, Barrable, Seamus Ryan up to 3rd place. Great stuff. Then Yamamoto, Ian Conroy, well known to us from Fiat Racing, goes really well in these. That's him with the with the green mirrors there on the outside. Somebody down the inside of him. Is that Jeff Richardson, I think it is? He's got by too, it is indeed, as Barrable begins to pile the pressure on. He has a look down the outside. They haven't got too much grip, these cars. They run on a hard treaded tire, so they can be a bit hard to control, a bit skittery, but the drivers love them, and Barrable thinking about a look around the outside. Oh, missed apex there for the leader. That allows Barrable to get alongside now. A better run up the hill and down into the S's. Bridgestone corner now, the off-camber left-hander which forms the first part of the S's. Great stuff from Barrable, doesn't manage to get it around the outside there. Richardson very experienced as well. Greg Richardson, and he's hanging on out front. Seamus Ryan in 3rd, Yamamoto in 4th. Is that Richardson? Somebody's making moves there. Barrable leads, Greg Richardson gone a little bit wide, and Peter Barrable leads. Running number 22, same number as Dad. Runs his dad, the reigning Fiesta Zetec champion, and has taken pole position this morning in the dying minutes of qualifying. Barrable late in the brakes down into turn 1 now. He's going defensive though, he knows he's got a danger man behind him. Then it's 4 Seamus Ryan, it's 50 David Yamamoto, and number 1 Jeff Richardson, another danger man there, right in the middle of that mix and on his way up through the grid. So it's Barrable, Richardson, Ryan, Yamamoto, Richardson, Conroy, Brown, Scott Jackson, Gary Humphries, Anthony Malone as they went by us, Derek Hogan, Lee Malone, Colin Hamill, Barry Hallion and Richard Spence. There's 50 Yamamoto right out over the curbs, and Ian Conroy looking for a way by the Carlo man. Very spectacular driver, raced in Puntos for many years. Oh, down the inside, Richardson, what a move to take that place from number 4. Ryan, I think that is indeed it is. So Jeff Richardson very much on a charge, reigning champion, and wants to stop Barrable getting away, and perhaps. Yeah, he's got by all these 4 cars now. 16 latching onto the back one. That's Gordon Brown. Beautiful drift from Gordon Brown out of the final corner there, the red car. So yeah, that's Jeff Richardson. Is Jeff Richardson up to 3rd place. Fastest lap is 2:3:1. Jeff Richardson, fastest lap. He's in 3rd place. He's quicker than Barrable, and he's quicker than his brother Greg Richardson. So Peter Barrable with it all to do out front. Mark Nagel asking us, can he have a hello for the Avoca River Park auto test? Of course he can. Mark Nagel, well known to us from auto testing, did an event here at Mondello Park actually a few weeks ago, Trials Drivers Club auto test event. Oh, great stuff from Conroy. Conroy always has superb car control. You can see him there balancing the car on the throttle on the way up out of turn 3. Great stuff from him. They've just been bundled back really though by Jeff Richardson. He just sliced by these guys, and he's now closing in on the leader. So 1, 2, 3. Beginning to break away. No mistakes for Peter Barrable. Hugely experienced. Spoke to him yesterday. He's in trouble with his back. He's in severe back pain. He said it all goes away when he's in the car, but once he comes back into the paddock, it's pretty sore again. But going nicely. Somebody cheering him on there from the pit wall. The Barrables all here this weekend, of course. Rob Barrable here supporting his dad and his brother, and Bobby Barrable, the next generation, also here as well. But the Richardson's in 2nd and 3rd place, going nicely. Okay, Peter Barrable's put in a good lap that time round. He now has fastest lap, 1:03.040. And this one, 3 minutes still to go. So Peter Barrable, having relieved Greg Richardson of the lead, is out front now. And Greg Richardson, Jeff Richardson, and David Yamamoto. Former Carter David Yamamoto did a little bit of Zetecs Fiesta racing as well. Then Ian Conroy and Seamus Ryan, Gordon Brown, Scott Jackson, and Derek Hogan, another ex-Fiat racer, Derek Hogan. Look at Barrable car moving around a little bit on the brakes. Is that a change for 2nd place? It's Richardson versus Richardson. I think it is. Jeff down the inside, takes 2nd place. Going to try and take off after Peter. When are they going to do some bump drafting? We see this regularly with the legends. They've got bumpers front and back, and they tend to slipstream and help each other down the straights. They do it a lot in the UK, bump drafting. It would be frowned upon in any other class, but it's the norm in these little motorbike engine legends. 1200cc, great sound effects from them. Drivers absolutely love them. Gordon Brown drifting the car around again. We see some of the ICCR media team out there who'll be getting some great footage. Do follow ICCR on all the media channels on ICCR.ie. Jeff Richardson has got in front of Greg, but I think Peter Barrable really has got the hammer down. He's into the 62s, 62.9 for Peter Barrable, but 62.6 for Jeff Richardson. So quicker again, but the gap out to 2 seconds. Yellow flags, somebody off at the final corner there, just coming up here. There'll be yellow flags on the right hand side, won't affect the leaders. Waved yellows. Flag on the left there, meaning it's clear from here on. Marshall's doing a great job as ever. There's a good shot with the car in the background, just embedded in the gravel. Didn't get as far as the barriers, which shows you how effective these gravel traps are. They actually stop the car before they get as far as the barriers. So into the closing stages of this one now for Irish Legends. 1 minute 19 seconds to go, and looking fairly good at this stage for Peter Barrable. Jeff Richardson on a charge. He's getting away from Greg, but is he closing down Peter Barrable? There's nothing in it. They're swapping gas. Just gone under 2 seconds by a fraction, but very, very little in it now. Down into Bridgestone corner one more time. 59 seconds to go. They probably will get one more lap after this one. As Barrable comes through the S's. There's Yamamoto we're watching now. Green and red car. Ian Conroy and Gordon Brown coming through. And Seamus Ryan have dropped back a few places. He was well up there early on, number 4. Seconds, so 0.4 quicker that time round for Jeff Richardson. Peter Barrable on his last lap. He'll be well able to control this one. He's hugely experienced. Comes from the North Dublin Motorsport dynasty, the Barrable family. Visually closing in on Peter Barrable now, very sideways at the apex, but nicely controlled there for number 1 Jeff Richardson, pushing very, very hard. His fastest lap 3/10 faster than Barrable's quickest. Barrable just 2 corners to go now. Second bit of the S is just here. Completely flat in these cars, right out onto the curbs for Richardson in the background having a real go. And up to the final corner, Southside Motor Factor's corner. He's almost within striking distance as he jumps the inside curb and drifts right out to the outside. But Peter Barrable has done enough. He takes the first win of the live coverage here at day 2 of the opening ICCR meeting here at Mondello Park. So great stuff from legends. Peter Barrable takes the win, a charging Jeff Richardson is second. Greg Richardson is in third place, the early leader. Then a good run from David Yamamoto. Ian Conroy just pips Gordon Brown to the line. Then Seamus Ryan, Scott Jackson, Derek Hogan. In fact, Derek Hogan just getting ahead of Scott Jackson on the last lap. Then Barry Hallion, top 10 place and a personal best going across the line there for Barry Hallion. Then Anthony Malone, Colin Hamill, Gary Humphreys and Richard Spence. So it's Lee Malone that went off unfortunately in the middle stages of that race, but he'll be absolutely fine. I'm sure that car is fine too. It'll be removed from the gravel and we should see it back out for the next Legends race. There's the Legends setup we're looking at there. POB Racing, Paul O'Brien, that's his truck on the right hand side, and all the colour coded awnings that you see match the colours of the cars. Really great presentation in the paddock, and well done to the Irish Legends and indeed to POB Racing for that presentation. It's great to see it, and I think other classes are probably taking a lead from that now. So we've had great entertainment, as we said, so far all weekend at Mondello Park. We don't expect that to change. The big news, I suppose, this weekend is that from around where that tree is in the centre of your screen, on the far side of the track, it has been resurfaced. So just there, all the way down to turn 3, to the right where you can see the marshals at the top of the screen, all the way round turn 3, back to where the Legends are coming in now, and again continuing round to the exit of the S's. So that's all brand new tarmac, and as a result the times are falling, lap records are being broken. Michael Cullen broke his own striker lap record yesterday, but the Boss Ireland cars, which we will see on track later on, have been under the lap record, and they've been well under the lap record this weekend. So we could see a new outright lap record. That lap record has been here for many, many years. It's Nigel Greenson in a Formula 1 Tyrrell, and it's 50.22 is the lap record, and we're looking at that to be broken perhaps later on today. There you go, Peter Barrable takes the win. Jeff Richardson, second place. That's actually their final lap, perhaps on the right-hand side, because I know Barrable was in the 62s, and Jeff Richardson had done a low 62, so maybe that's their final lap we're looking at on the right. I don't think it's their fastest lap. Peter Barrable, Jeff Richardson, Greg Richardson, David Yamamoto, Ian Conroy, Gordon Brown, Seamus Ryan, Derek Hogan, Scott Jackson, and a top 10 for Barry Hallion on his class debut. And already the Celtex Safety Fiesta Zetecs are lining up in the pit lane, the biggest class for many years at Mondello Park, certainly the biggest class today. There they are, all they're resplendent in their Celtex Safety livery. There's Fish Graphics, that's Ian Fishburne. The Tyre Brigade, Julick Burke's car, looks fantastic, the Athlone Tyre Centre there. And then the first of the Sheds Direct car, the 2 Dawson cars, absolutely beautifully prepared. Alistair Kellett's had a hand in them, as indeed I think of LOH Motorsport near us here in Kildare. That's 42, Keith Dawson. Very, very quick driver, Keith Dawson. See him lighting up the front tyres, trying to get a bit of heat into them before they get. It's very cold here at Mondello Park today, which most normally aspirated engines love. It might give us quick lap times, but it'll be hard to heat up those tyres. Next up behind him is Johnny Whelan, the entertainer. Johnny known to us at Mondello for many, many years in supercars and strikers and many, many others. And they just keep coming out of the pit lane. There are so many of these. I think there are 38 registered. We have 34 today, and I think we may have lost 1 or 2, but nearly all making it out to this race 1. They've got 2 races today. This is the opening round of their championship. Andy Kavanagh in there too in the Miles Plus car. Number 7 is Phil Lawless, Lara Whelan. You can see Amy Woods there, number 10. Great stuff. Then that's Collie Barrable next up. Barry Hallion, who's just jumped out of the Legend, has jumped into one of these as well. Another late entry for him. There's one of our marshals, the Orange Army as they're known at Mondello Park. So there's Ian Fishburn and the fishgraphics.ie car. He actually produces all these Celtex safety decals for you can see them on the side of every car, the sun strips, the sponsored decals. So well known to us. Been doing graphics on race cars for many, many years. Murray Motorsport and some of the other teams use them. There are actually 3 companies, and probably more, but 3 companies doing a lot of graphics here at Mondello Park. There's this stickers we're talking about, the decals and the ICCR logo that all saloon cars must carry there on the left-hand side. So great stuff from him. And Jay O'Reilly, of course, does a lot of cars as well, as indeed does Keith Rabbit now with the Wrap Company. So I think those 3 people, it's fair to say, have brought up the standards of saloon car preparation in Mondello. But you'll see these this string of cars here when they go through. There's so many of them, and a lot of them have been wrapped, and they look absolutely fantastic. Great stuff. Eric Holstein is here with us. He didn't quite get his ST ready, so he's in the commentary box with us today watching this one, but he's hoping to be back out for Bishop's Court, which should be well worth watching. Amy Wood's going out there in the Shaky Bills car. She's got a new sponsor this weekend, the Drive Virtual Driving Academy Limited. So have a look at that, or have a look on wheelsforwomen.ie. Amy wrote a little article about them. She's a very, very quick driver. And Sean Woods, her father, a big name here at Mondello Park for many years. Sean looked after everyone's cars, and Siobhan mammied us all and made us potato croquettes. So pity they're not with us today, but I'm sure they're watching the live stream up in Tremiskin and Dundalk. A big hello to the Woods family out there, and Amy Woods will be looking to go well today. She said she had a transponder issue in qualifying. I was talking to her. There's the car that's actually NCT'd with the number plates going out on it there. So great grid of these cars heading out onto track. I think they're early 30s. They're weaving around. It's very important. The drivers are telling me very important to get temperature into these front tyres. They don't work for maybe a lap or 2 unless you get heat into them. Anyway, we're looking at the grid. That's Michael Barrable on pole position. He's the reigning champion. Maybe you'd expect him to be on pole, but he wasn't. Alan Dawson in the Sheds Direct car was on pole position for almost the whole session, and bang, last minute, last lap, lap 10, Michael Barrable banged one in the MB Michael Barrable Motors car. Then Ian Fishburn 3rd, Ulick Burke 4th, Keith Dawson 5th, Johnny Whelan the entertainer, then it's Andy Kavanagh, Phil Lawless, Lara Whelan. There's Amy Woods weaving around. See the Drive logo on the side of her car, the Virtual Academy. Holly Barrable next up. And James Byrne, that car looks fantastic. Another one of the cars that's been wrapped. Luke Noon's car as well, looking well. Caleb Shanley, another car's had a makeover. Kieran Larkin, great to see Kieran Larkin out there. He's normally out in the Fiesta ST, but he bought this car a couple of weeks back and had a few issues with it, but they had it stripped apart during the week. It's back together. It's obviously going okay. Then Keelan Noon. Sorry, we've got Dara Brennan, Richard Byrne, Keelan Noon, Michael Keogh. Beautiful car Mick Keogh was driving. Absolutely stunning. Jay Donegan helped him build that car, and it really is worth a look. It's in the Works Ford colours, but it's absolutely mint. A lot of brand new drivers here. 777 is Barry Hallion, late entry, only decided to come racing this week in typical Barry Hallion style. The JH Autobody man, there he is in shot now, 777. Then the next one up is Eduardo Gonzaga. That's our Brazilian driver, and he's got on the side of his car a logo with Ayrton Senna's picture on it, because Ayrton Senna raced at Mondello Park in 1982, 40 years ago, and the Brazilian team are celebrating that this year. Looks like somebody's gotten a spot about it. Did somebody spin their car? Possibly Mark Minahan, I think. In the background, you can just see someone doing a 3-pointer. And look at the whole grid. This is fantastic. It's great for Mondello Park. It's great for the ICCR, and it's great for Celtex Safety as well, the West Dublin-based safety wear suppliers. So great stuff. Michael Barrable, 22 on pole position. That's his number, his lucky number. He's been using it since the 70s. He told me this morning he didn't want to run number 1, even though he is the current champion in the MB Motors car. Precision graphics on the bonnet of that. That's what we were talking about earlier. Jay O'Reilly's company, Keith Rabbit and Ian Fishburn all wrapping these cars. And again, Alan Dawson's car, absolutely immaculate. The shell was done by LOH Motorsport, by Kevin O'Hara's team and Luke O'Hara, and the rest of the work done by Kellett Motorsport. Fish graphics car in the second row of the grid, absolutely beautiful. The first 4 cars, in fact, a whole lot of them, looking back at them, they look fantastic. Taking a little bit of while to grid them up, because we've got a lot of first-time racers here today, people that have never raced before, and they're doing their first ever race. Can you imagine what it's like to be sitting in its car on a grid this size for your first ever race at Mondello Park? Just look at that grid. 38 cars registered, 34 cars entered, and we're almost getting ready to go. These cars, 1.25, pretty much standard. You can do a little bit of work to the cylinder head, and we run a competition, a lowered spring, that's it. Standard spec shocks. So they're pretty cheap to run. We're getting ready to go. 5-second board is up, the red lights are on. Red lights are out, and away they go. Who's it going to be? Barrable nails the start as you'd expect. So does Dawson, and they're side by side heading under the bridge and down into turn one. They're almost rubbing mirrors, giving each other racing room. Can Barrable hang on? Dawson's late on the brakes. Barrable goes back at him, locks the inside front. A little bit of a kiss, and Ian Fishburne gets up the inside of both of them. Can Fishburne lead this one? He can't. I think Barrable can just contain that one as they head towards turn two. We're all clear. There's no problems for anybody there, I don't think. Great stuff. Yep. Somebody just getting a little bit out of shape there. I think that was Dara Brennan right at the back. And Fishburne up to second place, and look at Ulick Burke and Johnny Whelan in the mix too now. Johnny down the inside of Alan Dawson, surely he will. Down he goes, two supercar drivers having a go at each other there. Whelan up over the inside curve, but Dawson sits around the outside of him. Then it's Keith Dawson, Andy Kavanagh, Phil Lawless and all the rest coming through. Great stuff, and the car is still streaming down towards turn three as the leaders come back into the S's. Barrable, Fishburne, Ulick Burke, Alan Dawson, Johnny Whelan having under pressure now from Keith Dawson, Phil Lawless there too, Andy Kavanagh and Lara Whelan in there. This is great battles here all the way down the field. There is a rookie championship this year as well. And defensive line there from Michael Barrable. Fish goes high and wide. Ian Fishburne's been a revelation in this class. He doesn't have the experience of Alan Dawson or Michael Barrable, but he's got him up the inside. He's done the switch back at Mondello Park, a famous move, and he's got up the inside of Michael Barrable. He's got plenty of straight line power, and they're neck and neck as they go by us. And Ulick Burke trying to get that third place. Look at the rest of them coming through. Great stuff from the Celtex Safety Fiesta Zetecs. Johnny Whelan trying to have a go around the outside of Ulick Burke now, but Ulick's seen it all before. A lot of very, very experienced driver. This is almost like a race of champions. We've got Ulick Burke is the reigning Irish Touring Car champion. Michael Barrable is the reigning Fiesta Zetec champion. Alan Dawson's won championships before. Johnny Whelan's won championships before. There's a lot of very experienced, very talented drivers here. And Barrable's car beginning to bounce as he goes in late on the brakes there, trying to close that gap. They all missed the apex a little bit. Johnny Whelan wide and out onto the curbs. Phil Lawless getting into the mix now. Collie Barrable, Amy Woods beginning to join that group as well. And Johnny Whelan under big pressure here from the second of the Sheds Direct car. That's Keith Dawson trying to go around the outside. But Fishburne leading and leading well. Let's see what Barrable can do. Barrable has all the tricks. Generally, he's got loads of racecraft, but Ian Fishburne looking very quick here out front in the Fish Graphics car. Here he comes, centre of the road. Leaves the door slightly open. Look at Dawson, high and wide to try and get a better line. And once again, Barrable locks that inside front wheel. I think Barrable's in a spot of bother there, and Dawson this time has wrong-footed him and got alongside. Here they come towards, he has, so Barrable's gone, he just can't stop the car. It's locking an inside front. It's not something you see too often. Phil Lawless and Andy Kavanagh swapping paint there as they go by us. So let's have a look at the order. That's the top 10. Collie Barrable rounding out the top 10. Fishburne, Dawson, Barrable, Ulick Burke. Barrable having a go back. He's no problem with traction. It seems to be getting it stopped into the slower corners. Maybe it's a matter of getting heat into the tyres. Very quick through turn three. It's just a little lift in these Fiestas. Even quicker now, they're telling me, since the resurfacing work. Johnny Whelan up to fourth place now. Very much a danger man, in and out of the car. Fourth place for Johnny Whelan. Comes back down towards the S's. Ian Fishburne looking very relaxed out front, isn't he? Just as we said before, he's done a bit of rallycross and then came into this class last year and already was straight on the pace almost immediately. It's an ex-LOH Motorsport car. Preps it himself. We're delighted to tell me he changed the oil and did a service on it. He's more of a graphics man than a mechanic. So, look at Alan Dawson now closing him down. Dawson looking very aggressive. Alan Dawson massively experienced. Started racing in GT cars here back in the late 80s and has raced pretty much everything and won in pretty much everything in second place. Barrable looking to have a go back at him though. Then it's Whelan and Ulick Burke. Good battles here all the way down the field. Fishburne though doesn't look, he looks composed out front. He's under big pressure though. Kieran Larkin going through, Byrne, Hallian, all the rest. O'Donoghue going through. There's Eduardo going nicely, heading that group of newbies there. So it's Fishburne, Dawson, Michael Barrable, Johnny Whelan, Ulick Burke, Keith Dawson, Andy Kavanagh, Phil Lawless, Collie Barrable, Lawrence Whelan, Amy Woods 11th, just outside the top 10. Then Caleb Shanley going nicely, James Byrne, Barry Hallian well up. He was 20th, I think, in qualifying. He's up to 14th. So Hallian on a bit of a charge, looking for another scalp there as they come up. Somebody going very wide. That's O'Donoghue, I think. Mark O'Donoghue it is. Is there smoke from the back of that car? Was that just me? I thought I saw smoke from the back of the leader. Maybe he kicked up a bit of dust. He was right in over the car. Look at all the photographers and media guys there. They're all at the S's to try and get them with the rear wheel in the air. Locked the front wheel this time from the Sheds Direct Ireland car. That car is gone a little bit smoky, that the leader. It's not slowing down though. It just has to defend as Dawson tries to get up the inside of him. So it's Fishburne, Dawson, Barrable, a gap back to Johnny Whelan. Johnny's gone uber defensive now and isn't going to let Ulick Burke by without a fight. Ulick Burke has a look down the inside. Johnny Whelan gets a turn in, then Ulick Burke, then Dawson. So Burke up a place or two. Keep Dawson in the mix. Mark O'Donoghue just getting by one or two of the novices. They're all having great fun, all still going. It's great for these guys to be out for their first ever race, and even better that we can live stream it with thanks to the Beacon Hospital. Here they come, the first three. Look at Barrable, he's so committed through that first bit and closes right in on Dawson. And they just have to get them turned in. Second gear, grabbing third gear as they go up the hill. They'll hold third gear all the way to the S's. Phil Lawless there, Collie Barrable, Lara Whelan, Amy Woods in the Shaky Bills car. All the Dundalk sponsorship for that young lady. It's Caleb Shanley next up behind her. Then it's Kieran Larkin. Then it's Hallion, I think, is in that next group. 15th now for James Hallion, just behind James Byrne. For James Hallion, Barry Hallion, just behind James Byrne. Apologies. And look at this Fishburne again. It is a bit, when he gets on the power, there's just a little puff of smoke from that car. And Alan Dawson is setting him up, but can't quite get it done. He's almost getting up the inside. But Fishburne completely composed and just pulls across towards the Armco. This time Whelan with a bit of a gap. Ulick Burke now under pressure from Keith Dawson. Look at some of these battles back the field. Fantastic stuff. There really are cars. Look at still up its outside corner. They're streaming out onto the main straight. This is absolutely fantastic saloon car racing from the Celtex Safety class. There's Hallion having come up 5 places, locking an inside front. There is Mark O'Donoghue, newly built car, hasn't even tested it. He's very quick, but when he's not shown his full potential today. Cocking an inside rear wheel there is Ian Fishburne driving absolutely beautifully the Fish Graphics car, no mistakes at all. You think most people would be making mistakes if they had 2 experienced campaigners like that behind them, but no, he's not phased and he's going absolutely beautifully here. Let's have a quick look at the lap times. Barrable almost gets alongside, big challenge from him there. 11.7 for Barrable, 11.5 for Dawson, and 11.7 for the leader Fishburne as well. So that's kind of the pace here, which is what they were doing in testing. Look at Dawson, high and wide, and then tries to get up the inside. Loads of lock on, but he can't quite do it. Once again, Fishburne just covers it beautifully. He doesn't lift mid-corner, doesn't park the car at the apex, carries the speed out wide, and then just calmly comes back across and resumes the position. And this time Ulick Burke has been wrong-footed. I think Keith Dawson's got up the inside of him. Johnny Whelan getting away. Let's see what kind of lap times Johnny Whelan is doing. 11.8 for Johnny. He's about a 10th off the leaders, but if they keep scrapping, he might get up to them, and that will add fuel to the fire. There's look at all these guys streaming through, and so as we said, some wonderful scraps all the way right down to the back of the field. But the 3 leaders having a good go here. How long have we got to go? 7 minutes still to run this. Oh, down the inside. That's Mark Maynahan just overcommitted up over the curb. That's the first bit of contact we've seen today, but that was just a bit wild down the inside. I think it was Darragh Brennan on the receiving end of that one, possibly. First 3 still getting away. Johnny Whelan now all on his own. Let's see if Keith Dawson can get up to him. Ulick Burke. Is Ulick Burke gone? I think he is. I don't see him in the pit lane, but certainly don't see him on screen. He was 6th when they went by us last time. Oh, he's fallen back 2 or 3 places. Andy Kavanagh's got by him and Phil Lawless has got by him. You can see in the background there. So Ian Fishburne now. The only time Ian Fishburne will be in trouble with that is if his front tyres go off. But it's more likely that Dawson's will go first because he's trying to get that tight line, that late apex out of Southside Motor Factor's corner to get alongside. It's just not working for him. Great grid of Zetecs coming towards us. A little bit of help perhaps. No, they're staying apart down at turn 1. It's just oh so close. Dermot Nolan messaging us. How are you, Dermot? I'm glad you're enjoying the coverage. So I'm getting a lot of messages in. Oh, Amy Woods, is she up a place ahead of Lara Whelan? I think she possibly is. Battle of the white cars there in the background. So it's still Fishburne. Fishburne really impressing me here. These 2 guys behind have incredible racecraft, and just as we said at Dawson, there's a big look down the inside. There's contact, very slight contact. Dawson backs out of it, but it just unsettles Fishburne, allows Dawson alongside. Barrable's back in Fishburne though. He stays left. They're coming down towards the S's, and look, he's almost helping Fishburne. Go on, Ian, I'll stay in here with you. Leave Alan out there, but Alan Dawson happy to sit around the outside, and that's going to leave Barrable on the outside for the S's, or is it? This is cracking saloon car racing at Mondello Park. Side by side, door handle to door handle. Ian Fishburne will be looking in the mirror, go at it there, boys. I'll happily stay out in front. He doesn't even defend. Fishburne's so confident on the way into the final corner and lets the 2 boys go around side by side. That may give him some breathing room. Johnny Whelan is being caught though by Keith Dawson, and he's bringing somebody with him. That's Andy Kavanagh in the More Miles car. And it's Phil Lawless, Mondello man Phil Lawless, former champion in this class. But Fishburne is getting away. Look, and he goes right out wide again. He knows exactly what to do. and when they're beginning to swap paint just a little bit side on, Johnny Whelan is really keen to join in the action here. There'll be absolute it'll just get more exciting if Johnny does get back up to them. Johnny has always been flamboyant is the word we used to describe him, but he's his favourite with the crowds. He's always great to watch. And Barrett will be wondering what happened here now. He's going to have to try and get by Alan Dawson, and Alan Dawson will want to shake him off because they both want to get up to the smoky Ian Fishburne there, who's leading this one and leading it nicely with just 4 minutes and 40 seconds to go. Phil Lawless there, Ulick Burke and Collie Barrable together. Amy Woods going wide there at turn 3, trying very hard in that Digital Drive Academy car. Fishburne almost, he's so late in the brakes, he gets the back of the car loose and it's almost pivots on itself on the turn into that corner. Whelan, Dawson, Kavanagh, Lawless, Burke, Barrable, Amy Woods, Lara Whelan, Caleb Shamley right with them as well. To see so many cars out here, it really is, and the fact that so many of them are newcomers can only bode well for Irish motorsport. Kieran Larkin in the mix there, Barry Halligan back up with those guys as well, having closed them down. Then Marco Donoghue has cleared all those guys. There's Eduardo, we were speaking about earlier, the Brazilian team presenting the car absolutely beautifully, and a tribute to Ayrton Senna's win at Mondello Park here 40 years ago. And again, Dawson trying to just unsettle Ian Fishburne, always trying to get up the inside, trying to get a late apex. So what he's trying to do is to get Ian Fishburne to defend. You'll see it here now, he's cleared of Barrable, so he'll have a go. He wants Ian Fishburne, and that car's smoking quite a lot, he wants Ian Fishburne to defend on the run up this outside corner so he can go high and wide and try and get a better run through the corner and get alongside on the exit. But Fishburne driving like a pro, centre of the road, not even, he's not defending fully, he's not getting rattled. And again, don't look how much lock Dawson is on when he tries to do that. That's going to be hard on his front left tyre, and he may pay for that later on in the race. Barrable will be watching this, and he'll know well what Alan Dawson is doing to that front left tyre, and he'll try and pounce later on if he can. Look at these three battling away. That's Phil Lawless, Ulick Burke and Collie Barrable together. Going by, down the inside there, defending into the first corner again is our leader, Fishburne. Somebody locking a wheel. Ulick Burke, he's dropped well back in the tyre brigade car. He was right up the front where we'd expect him to be, qualified really well, but he's dropped well back there. Here's Shamley, that's Larkin, Byrne and Halligan still locked in combat there together. I think that's is it just outside the top 10? Johnny Whelan now under pressure from Keith Dawson. Keith Dawson going nicely here, he's done well, he's got by a few cars, he's got by Ulick Burke, as we said earlier on, brought Andy Kavanagh with him, and right up to the back of my screen is showing is showing a different order there. I'm sure it'll sort itself out. Fishburne, Dawson and Barrable still together for the lead here. And once again, Dawson probably a little bit closer this time. Fishburne well aware, that's why he's further over to the right hand side to defend as they come up to the corner. Dawson again tries to get that tight line to get up the inside. He's almost done it this time. It's going to take a little bit. Oh, Fishburne just squeezes the door shut, but he'd almost done it. Alan Dawson's trying that every single lap. It seems to be the move that he thinks is going to work. Great battles coming down here, and that's Barry Halley in the background getting alongside James Byrne. I think you may get that one done as they head down the main straight, but the leaders interlocks there as they go by us. Oh, Dawson looking very good now. He's all over him everywhere. Fishburne had been quicker through turn 2 early on in the race and had a gap of a length or two, but he doesn't have it anymore. Out to turn 3 now. Barrable sitting watching all this. I don't think Barrable is just hanging on. I'm sure he's going to pounce towards the end of this one, or busy, because there's only 1:10 to go. Suddenly he's closer though. Here they come. He should have fresher fronts than the two guys in front, but Alan Dawson again, plenty of experience, doesn't make too many mistakes. Great racing at the front of this one, it's got to be said. Barely touched each other all the way through it. Again, a little bit of smoke from the Fish Graphics car now, but looking good for him. He had a win last year, but he would love to win this one streamed live, and the opening round of the championship would make him the championship leader. 38 cars registered for this Celtex Safety Championship, remember. Here they come into Southside Motor Factory's corner. Big puff of smoke as he gets on the bar. Dawson tries it again. Barrable doesn't, interestingly. Now this is going to start their final lap. 2 kilometres to go. Who's going to win this one? It's got to be one of these three, surely. Look at the battles in the background. Amy Woods has caught onto the back of Collie Barrable from way back, and she's brought Lara Whelan with her. It's great stuff from Amy Woods. So Fishburne now defends for his last time down into turn 1. No problems there. Barrable beginning to have a look at Dawson in this one. Johnny Whelan fourth. This is it now, heading for Fishburne only has 4 corners to go. They're almost going to lap some of the newcomers. We saw some of them at the bottom of the screen there, but they haven't caught them just yet. It's good work by the newcomers not to be lapped in their first ever race meeting, considering the pace of these guys. Well, the first 3 cars welded together there. No damage on any of them. They've stayed apart. I think Alan Dawson's wing mirror might have been dislodged, but that's about it. And that's pretty much the norm for saloon car racing as they come down into the S's. They're all up onto 3 wheels for the last time. 2 corners to go for Ian Fishburne. Can Alan Dawson finally make this move stick and make it into a drag race for the line? I don't think so, but let's have a look. Fishburne has looked so calm in this one. Up the hill for the last time. 3rd gear, flat out, late on the brakes. Down to 2nd gear. Dawson tries it again. He's up over the inside curb, but it doesn't work. Fishburne contains it beautifully. 2nd gear into 3rd. The checkered flag is ready below me here, and it looks like Ian Fishburne is going to take a fantastic win in the first round of the Celtex Safety Fiesta Zetecs Championship. Absolutely brilliant scrap from all those 3 guys. Then it's Whelan, then Dawson, then Andy Cavan. Look at this, all the way down the grid. Great battles. Barry Hallion weaving around behind Kieran Larkin, that is. They've made up a place or 2 in the last lap. I think ahead of possibly James Byrne, that is, they got ahead of. And again, neck and neck across the line. 55. So great stuff. Look at this, they're still finishing here. Mick Keogh in this car coming down. This is the 3rd of these cars coming down to the car. Everyone's talking about beautifully prepared car. And this is pretty much his first run out, and he didn't get much testing in the car number 3 in the Dunningan Motor Services car. And number 8 going through there as well. So fantastic stuff. There's still a few cars out there. We're not finished just yet. 8, of course, was Roy Tobin, well known to us. Hadn't been no testing at all, I don't think, from Roy Tobin. Sam Keogh going to be next up, his first time. He's coming across the line now. Sam Keogh in the car with the Taxon NCT on it, the silver car. He goes through, fantastic stuff. Well done to him. Paul Whelan. Okay, so these guys will all be getting a signature on their license to say they finished. That's 53 Matthew Craw. That's an interesting one. That's the MSL car. The Mercedes dealership, and that was originally brought in as a team building exercise for the mechanics to do the 6-hour Fiesta race, and they did a wonderful job here in November. The MSL crew, they managed to finish. They drove the car, they serviced the car, they prepared the car themselves, and Matthew Craw, an employee there, and he's getting the chance to drive that car this weekend. They have a second Fiesta Zetecs we may see out. So if you want a job as a mechanic, there's worse places to work. There are good benefits to that job. So Matthew Craw, well done to him, getting home and get a signature on his licence. And just look at these cars coming in. And bar that car of Mark Minahan's with just a little bump down at turn 1, there's very, very little damage, and I think they can all be very proud of themselves. There was a lot of speculation that there was going to be, it would be hectic with the new drivers out there. It wasn't. The new drivers have done absolutely brilliantly. Look at Alan Dawson and Michael Barrable discussing the race over on the right hand side of your screen there. It's great to see it. The technical team pulling them all in. Technical team in the ICCR have done a brilliant job with this class. As you can see, the cars are all so equal. There's no cars quicker than the others in a straight line. There were issues in years gone by, not so much anymore. There's Phil Lawless out of the car, delighted with himself as well. So lots of smiles in Parc Ferme, just the way it should be. There's Eduardo coming in, the Brazilian team, again beautifully prepared and beautifully wrapped car. There's Dara Brennan coming in next. Kelsey Kirby coming in as well. She's done nicely. She'll be happy to get a finish in her first race. So great stuff from her. There's the car we spoke about, the Mick Keogh car. That's the blue and white car, the Works Ford colours on that one. Then it's the rest of Sam Keogh coming in the car with the NCT. So there we are. There's Neil Murphy from Celtex Safety going by. Big thumbs up from him. I'd say he'd be delighted with that one. He's loving his involvement with these Celtex Safety Champ. There's Amy Woods at the front. She's done well there in that one. I'm sure Sean and Siobhan will be happy with that, and so will our sponsors, because she grabbed a couple of places and dragged herself up to that battle that Collie Barrable was in. That's Emma Dempsey who's running her this weekend, and she's making frantic movement actions there. They're real racing driver movements. There's Phil Lawless having a look around. There's lots of smiles down there, as we said, and it really is wonderful to see it. So I think that's a very, very good race from Ian Fishburne there. You wouldn't have bet on Ian. I mean, he's been very impressive since he started racing, but he does not have the experience of Alan Dawson or of Michael Barrable, and he managed to hold them back. He looks perfectly calm all the way through the race, and he is now the Celtex Safety Zetecs Championship leader. We're not finished Fiesta racing just yet, because the coffee to go Fiesta STs are ready to go. Not as many of them, not near as many of them. There's the Orange Army are out just sweeping some stones off the track there down at turn 1. They do a great job always here at Mondello Park. If you want to join them, contact the Mondello Park office and you can join the marshals. They have great fun and great social end things. They do a lot of training and certification, and they actually have a go on some of the Mondello Park experience cars as well from time to time. So there's Victor Cullen, that's the Beacon Hospital Health Check second car, because his dad Michael Cullen has won pretty much everything here at Mondello Park over the years, but Victor has got a little bit closer, and I'm sure the slagging on the way home, if Victor can manage to get a result, will be mighty. The LOH Motorsport ICCR car there, and the Beacon Hospital Health Check. Beacon Hospital, as we said, have helped us out here. We wouldn't be live streaming without them. We're very thankful to them, and we'll be running these ads and some ads from Mondello Park and a few more going forward. We are hoping to stream the entire season. We're working hard on that at the moment, and hoping to stream every round of the ICCR, which would be absolutely wonderful if we could do it. It's great to be back on the air today. Thanks very much to Martin Cavan and See It Live, doing a wonderful job. They've invested further, as you can probably see, in equipment. Got a lot of automated cameras around, and the coverage is really, really good. So there's Victor Cullen heading away. Trevor Ferrar going really well this morning. Jonathan Hale, Gordon Kellett, Christopher Grimes Jr. heading away. But there's Eddie Peterson in the Petersons.ie car, and he's taken pole position. Eddie is 5 times Houston Auto Test champion. Very, very talented driver. Since the first time he jumped into a punto here at Mondello Park, he was quick straight away, and he's very, very quick, as you can see, in Fiesta STs. So he will be a man that will be keen to have a go at the championship this year. Won't be easy. Very, very, very experienced drivers in this one. Here are the 2 Beacon cars, Michael Cullen and Victor Cullen, weaving around trying to get a bit of heat into their Yokohama tyres. They run a semi-slick or treaded track day tyre that they don't have to change for wet conditions. Kind of have to mind it a little bit. In hot weather conditions, tyres can go off before the end of the race if you've been in battle for the entire race. There's Trevor Ferrar and his dad John prepared that car themselves. So they're probably the only ones here, well, one of the only ones here not running with a team, and they do very, very nicely. And he showed great form in testing, and again in qualifying this morning, very, very quick. Tyres, just a warm-up lap. Very coffee to go Fiesta STs. So small grid, but there are actually almost 20 cars registered. Various reasons why they're not out. Eric Holstein here with me in the commentary box, hoping to be back out. He's the former champion in this class. He's hoping to be back out for the next round of Bishop's Court, and Dara Denning says if Eric comes out, he'll come out, so that could be quite interesting. So a lot of the graduates in this class have gone on to great things. Eric, of course, won his class in the Dubai 24-hour race. Jack Byrne, who went so well last year, is going to race in Mini Coopers in the UK, and Alex Denning, who won the championship 2 years ago, is going to race in the JCW class, supporting the British touring cars this year, which should be interesting to watch. So Peterson's car's like new, and his car is like new on pole position. Alongside him, InsureMyCars.ie. Dave McGuire, let's hope he doesn't need that insurance in this race. They're both coffee to go livery. Then the identical cars of Michael Cullen and Victor Cullen in the second round. Nobody loves their racing more than Victor Cullen, and nobody would love to beat Michael Cullen more than Victor Cullen. So watch out for the battle on row 2. The lights are on, they're out, and away they go. And Victor Cullen gets a cracker of a start, but slow change to second gear, and Michael gets by again, I think. But it is Peterson leading, the auto test man. You'd expect him to get good traction off the line down into turn 1. So there they go, all staying apart, good stuff. Simon Dean in there too, he's been great to watch. So away they go down towards turn 3. Eddie Peterson doing nicely again. Auto tester who'll be used to the car moving around under him, so cold tires won't bother him early on. Oh, look at the commitment from Cullen through the kink. He was telling us that was 3rd gear, it's now 4th gear. I might be giving secrets away, but they can't hear me. They're all in their cars, so they won't know till tonight. They're all getting nicely, and Chris Jones in there too. Wouldn't have the experience of the men in front of him, as we said, hugely experienced. Brian Downs should have been out here too, but had some car problems in testing, the MSL man. Hopefully we'll see him join us later on the season. There's the Jones Investments car, going nicely. Just in front of him is Ronan McHale, another one of the LOH Motorsport. Oh, look at Peterson, very late turn in, much later than the Zetecs, right out to the outside, late turn in, late apex, early on the power. Eddie Peterson looking to get away, and in fact Michael Cullen under pressure from Victor Cullen now. Victor right on his dad's back bumper. Michael tells a great story that he did his first race ever in 1984 in a borrowed car, and he came fourth right on his dad's bumper, and he said if he loved me he would have let me by. Well, those words might be coming back to you now, Michael, because Victor's on your back bumper, and now Trevor Ferrara down the inside. Oh, and his contact, and Victor goes off. That is a shame. It's Michael, is it? Yeah, it is. Victor was ahead. That's Michael Cullen. Well, Trevor Ferrara wanted to keep the head down. Michael Cullen's back on track. Won't be happy about that, no doubt. I'm not really sure what happened. It's hard to tell from that angle. But Trevor Ferrara now closing down. That's Grimes has got in front of him. Christopher Grimes Jr. Gordon Kellett in there too. Simon Dean, Ronan McHale, Jones, and there's Michael Cullen. Don't think there's any damage on that car, so we will watch the lap times. So Victor Cullen in third place and leading the charge of those two cars. It's a good run. Well, it's the young guys, isn't it? Look at Christopher Grimes Jr., another great driver. He's went well in Ginetta Juniors. We see him doing a lot of auto testing. Comes from a great family. The Grimes dominated auto tests pretty much. Same as Eddie Peterson. A lot of auto test experience on this grid. Churchtown Motor Company sponsoring him on his move up from Ginetta Juniors into these Fiesta STs. Going nicely. First, second, third, fourth place for him. Fifth for Ferrara. Gordon Kellett in sixth, getting back into the groove. Then it's the Dean Motors car. If you don't follow Dean Motors on social media, try. Oh, big dive down the inside by Ferrara. But Grimes doesn't leave the gap open for too long. So great stuff for Fiesta STs. Jones doing nicely, hanging on to the back of McHale's car there. Victor Cullen at turn 3. This would be his first podium if he can hang on to this one. Victor going nicely, and he's easing away there from Grimes. Are we missing Michael Cullen? No, he's still there. He didn't register a lap on the timing though. Oh, he has now. Very slow lap. Although he is closing in. Oh, well, let's see. This one might be quicker. So Peterson, the two Murray Motorsport cars out front going nicely. Victor Cullen, no, not dropping back at all. In fact, is he slightly closer this time? There's Dean and McHale side by side, and Jones not far from them. Michael Cullen closing in on that one too. Look at the top of your screen. Michael Cullen. There's the lap times coming through now. That's great to see the lap times on screen. That's the current lap time, of course, not the fast, but it'll show you. Let's see what Michael Cullen does. 6.2. It's not enough. It's a lot quicker than the guys in front, but it's nowhere near what the leaders are doing. The three leaders in the 105s, a 5.7, 5.9 and a 5.8. So Victor Cullen well able to match Peterson and Dave McGuire. It's a big step forward for Victor Cullen. We didn't see that pace from him last year. He had one really good race, but certainly wasn't showing this. He's a very determined young man. He really loves his motorsport. And to the extent he cancelled a rugby match, I think, recently enough to go testing, which may have been frowned upon in quarters, but great to see it. And there he is now in third place, heading perhaps for his first ever podium. Victor Cullen, nobody would be happier than him if he can hang on to that one, and he looks very good. He's pulling away from Grimes, Ferrara and Kellett, and then it's Dean McHale, Chris Jones and Michael Cullen. Michael Cullen, of course, will be thinking championship thoughts. He's got to get by these cars really quickly. There he is in the background, bouncing out over the curves, Michael Cullen, as Ferrara tries to negotiate away by Grimes. Peterson goes through, no problem for him. So Murray Motorsport 1-2 up front, then Victor Cullen for LOH Motorsport, then Grimes, Ferrara, Kellett, Dean McHale, Chris Jones and Michael Cullen. And Cullen still hasn't got by Jones. Cullen really needs to start getting by these guys to get some championship points. Eddie Peterson will be pretty happy with this one. Dave McGuire not challenging him just yet. Quicker last time round though, Dave McGuire, but the gap is generally opening up. It's at, let's see what the gap is at. Do we have it? Don't. Actually, let me just check the second screen. 0.8 of a second last time round. Looks a little bit more perhaps now. Ferrara looking very quick, but can't find a way by Grimes Jr. Has that door closed on the way down into the S's. The red car, just no mistakes from him, stays tight over to the left-hand curb and absolutely flat through this right-hander in third gear in these 160 brake horsepower Fiestas. Victor Cullen perhaps inching closer, I feel, there to Dave McGuire. Indeed, he's quicker than both of the leaders. Look at the lap times. That's the current lap time. A 6.1, a 6 dead and a 5.7 for Victor Cullen. Michael Cullen finally getting the finger out. 6.101 for him. 6.9 for Chris Jones is impressive, isn't it? They're all pretty close. There's nobody outside further than a second away from the leader. So it's Peterson. It's Dave McGuire and Victor Cullen going beautifully in third place. Ferrara still having a go. Again, you got to watch these front tires, a bit like the Zetecs, probably more so because they're more powerful as he closes them down on the brakes. When you're trying to get by somebody, it's very hard on the tyres. You're always trying to get out wide and get a sharper, later apex to try and get up the inside of them on the way out. That's asking a lot of the front left tyre. Michael Cullen in the mix now in the background. Watch this, if we can hold that shot, top of the screen. Michael Cullen's got by Chris Jones. Can't just see it at the moment. We'll see it from the next shot on the way up the hill. There's Peterson going through. Victor Cullen late in the brakes, the car moving around on him there a little bit. There's Michael Cullen now trying to get one over on Ronan McHale. They're teammates, remember, but McHale goes defensive, teammates are not. Michael Cullen down the outside here. Is he going to try and switch back to the inside? Famous move from him in the Unos back in the 90s. No, he can't do it. Goes high and wide, but he's got a better run, more momentum. He should be alongside McHale. He is. The two LOH cars, the door handle going by us now. And Michael Cullen really needs to get by these guys if he's going to have any hope in the championship later on in the season. He's very late in the brakes. He gets round McHale. He almost gets round Dean. And McHale goes back at him. But Cullen has the inside line for turn 2 now as they grab third gear. Just about leaves Ronan McHale out there. So now next on his list is Simon Dean, the Dean Motors car, classic car dealer, Dublin-based classic car dealer. Oh, down the inside straight away. Dean closes the door, and Cullen backs out of it. But I don't think that'll be the end of that one. Ronan McHale immediately sniffs a chance at his teammate. So no team orders for LOH Motorsport there. I'm sure Cullen will either have a slice down the inside or he'll try and do it on the exit of the final corner. He's not quite close enough just yet. Good run off the S's though, as they grab third gear. They change gear somewhere around where they change direction here at Mondello. Here's Gordon Kellett, here's what we're looking for. And here comes Cullen, forces him to defend, and he's surely going to try a switch back here. No, yeah, Dean knows all about it though. Nothing Cullen can do. Surprised Cullen didn't get alongside there. He has another go on the main straight. There's not much in it, and there's no room as they go by us. Michael Cullen's not going to lift out of that one. It doesn't. They're touching paint there. Dean gives him no room at all, and Cullen has to back out of it. There could have been an accident if he wanted there. Dean in late on the brakes, but manages to keep the door closed. Michael Cullen will have to think of something extra there. Didn't manage to get by. That has him only back up to 8th place. So it's Peterson, Maguire, Cullen, Grimes, Trevor Farrar, Gordon Kellett, Simon Dean and Michael Cullen, with Ronan McHale right in there too, and Chris Jones still in there too, not far behind this group. There's Chris Jones. Look at that, great stuff from him. Chris Jones didn't do much racing last year at all, as we said, would not have the experience of the men around him. Oh, he's going very nicely. Cullen thinking of another go here. High and wide at the S's to try and get a better run. He's closer than he was this time as they grab third gear now. So he should try and force Dean to defend earlier, I'd imagine here. Dean's good through the second bit of the S's though. Doesn't have to defend, does he? Oh, he does, because Cullen takes a dive. Dean sees it coming. Cullen a bit later on turn in. Can't get up the inside though. Dean's seen that one before. You could see that. He would have lifted there if he had to. Look at this. Cullen goes to the inside. Dean covers him. No gaps on track at all. This time Cullen down the outside. Very difficult in these cars. They're not slick shod to sit around the outside. Dean late on the brakes. Manages to hang on to it. Keeping Michael Cullen behind you is pretty impressive stuff, and that's exactly what Dean is doing at the moment. Simon Dean hanging on to that 7th place. Victor Cullen slightly quicker than Maguire again. You see that in the top left of your screen that time round. Closing that gap down just a little bit. Still about a second. Michael Cullen so close to the back of Dean's car, but no contact. Second gear and up the hill again. Cullen with a better run, but nowhere to go. He goes to the right. Dean goes back to the right. That's leaving the door open down the inside. Is he going to switch back to the inside here? He doesn't quite. Almost in the back door of Dean's car. Well, he can't be any closer, can he, as they grab third gear here. Dean doesn't get the break this time. This is as close as Cullen has been. He's almost in the back of Dean's car. Dean's slightly quicker through the second bit of the S's, which is unusual. Goes over to defend, down to second gear. Cullen this time will try and run around the outside of him, but hasn't done it. No, this is good stuff from Dean. He is containing him well. Again, hasn't got that much experience. Simon, he's a bit wild and got great car control. It doesn't look it today, but last year, great to watch. And we saw a great clip of him on the ICCR social media. Broadside in the wet, third gear coming out of the S's and held onto it superb. He's got good car control, but he's got good racecraft as well, because normally Michael Cullen would make mincemeat of the midfield when he's coming up through them, and he just cannot find a way by Simon Dean. He's going to have to rethink it here. So Michael Cullen will not be happy at all about this one. He would want to have, he'd be aiming to get a win here today, certainly not to be battling for 7th place. How long have we got to go on this one? 4 minutes and 17 seconds to go. So we're going to have to think of something else. It looks like the final corner, doesn't it? It's the only place he really gets close enough. Nothing changing in the lead. In fact, Victor Cullen has dropped back slightly from the leaders, but this is where all the action is. It's Dean, it's Cullen, it's McHale, and it's Jones. So Simon Dean for Dean Motors, Michael Cullen for Beacon Hospital. Again, Cullen with the back of the car swinging around as he makes a dive down the inside. Ronan McHale fancies his chances here, I think, of getting somewhere near them, getting alongside. There's Grimes and Ferrara still together. Ferrara was who came together with Cullen. We might have a look at that one again at the end of this race. And again down the inside for Dean. No problems, gets it turned in. Cullen trying to sit around the outside there, but just couldn't make it stick. Third gear now on the way to turn 3. Cullen, and I think there's contact there. Cullen's got along the outside. There is. I think Dean may have closed the door there or else gone out over the curb. I'm not sure what happened, but there was definitely a bit of dust there all of a sudden. Cullen's staying away from him. He's trying to find somewhere by. Dean is just placing the car everywhere. It looks like Cullen has pace, but everywhere Cullen wants to be, Dean is just placing the car there. He's not even lifting too much at the apex or slowing them down. Because the other guys are just, they're not right up on him, but Cullen just can't do anything about it. Cullen looks quicker here, and then when they come through the second bit of the S's, Dean gets maybe half a length coming out of the S's, which makes it slightly easier for him to defend. There he is again. It's just opening up very slightly on the way up the hill. There's Cullen on the brakes. Forces him to defend, but then goes with him down the inside. He's trying the inside again here on the main straight, but Dean just eases across, closes the door. This time Cullen late on the brakes down the outside. Almost gets alongside, but he's not far enough alongside to be able to sit around the outside. What he was thinking of there is going around the outside and then holding the line for turn 2, but just not happening. Dean is really driving well here. Again, Cullen right with him. Unusual. If he could make a move here, there's generally no room down the inside, and there isn't this time either. Holding a watching brief here, not really attacking. That's his teammate, of course, but he's just waiting to see what happens. How long have we got to go? We haven't got much to go at all, less than 2 minutes. There's Grimes, the Churchtown Motor Company car. Ferrara parts for cars on the side of that car. Dean doesn't defend until the last minute there. Brave stuff, but the first time Cullen's tried that switchback properly up the inside. He doesn't quite have it, but he almost did. He'll try that again, I'd imagine. Might only have one more chance though. 1 minute 26 to go. No, he'll get another lap after this actually. Cullen down the outside. He's trying everywhere now, just trying to pile the pressure on and force a mistake. But despite his lack of experience, Simon Dean not making any mistakes here, not locking any wheels, not looking like he's over defending or getting flustered. It's Grimes and Ferrara. They've been locked together since the start of this one. Peterson's still out front, 2/10 quicker than Maguire, as you can see on the top left there, through Bridgestone corner. Here's this the Cullen battle again. McHale dropped back slightly. Are they catching Gordon Callan in front? No, they're lapping about the same pace. He's just ahead of this group. It's Ferrara still can't get by Grimes. There's the first 3 in front. Nowhere near each other. If there's any action, it's going to come from here, I'd imagine. Cullen goes to the inside and Dean waits till Cullen takes the dive. He doesn't automatically defend. Oh, McHale trying to get up the inside of Cullen. I think he's done it. Has he? Not quite, but almost alongside as they went by. But Cullen, as they grabbed third gear, just managed to come back across and reclaim that line. Cullen goes high and wide again. Almost gets alongside there, doesn't he? But Dean goes good and late in the brakes, and Cullen has to take off some lock to avoid contact there. Through turn 2. Grimes and Ferrara, nobody behind them, they're battling away. Then it's Kellett, then it's the battle we've been watching. There's Gordon Kellett, the former Saab dealer, racing many years, another very successful racing driver. Cullen almost in the boot of Dean's car now. Dean slowing them down a little bit. The front tyres will be past their best for all of them now. The checkered flag is prepared below me. Eddie Peterson looking very good at the final corner. It's been closed down slightly. Here he goes. Eddie Peterson's going to take the win in the Petersons.ie Cars Like New machine. He'd be delighted with that one. Murray Motorsport 1, Murray Motorsport 2. And what about Victor Cullen to take his first ever podium on live TV at Mondello Park? Great stuff from Victor Cullen. Christopher Grimes Jr., great day for the young guns. Then Trevor Ferrara. But look at this, Michael Cullen on a last lap chance here. Can't do it though, and McHale gets the run again on Cullen. Cullen could be in trouble here. Oh, he sees that coming, doesn't he? Barrier across to the inside and almost into the pit wall there. And they go by, well, great drive by Simon Dean, it's got to be said, to hold Michael Cullen back. That's pretty impressive stuff, because Cullen has a bag full of tricks. Cullen has a bag full of tricks, as we said, and he's very hard to battle with. So there you go, great entertainment from the Coffee to Go Fiesta ST Championship. That's the opening round of their championship, and the winner, of course, Eddie Peterson, the former 5 times Hewison Auto Test champion, and right with him in the InsureMyCars.ie machine is Dave Maguire. So Victor Cullen, there's Victor Cullen just coming into shot now in 3rd place. Great stuff from him in the Beacon Hospital car, his first ever podium. He will be absolutely delighted with that one, having got by his dad early on. And then it's Christopher Grimes Jr., as we said, the young guns doing well today. Then Trevor Farrar just couldn't quite get by Christopher Grimes. Then Gordon Kellett will be delighted with that one. And Michael Cullen coming in next, but it was Simon Dean, wasn't it, who finished across the line just ahead of him. So technical team just waving them into the shed there on the right hand side. Still some of the Zetecs contenders still in Parc Ferme. Great entertainment from the Tin Tops. There's the official results. Eddie Peterson. Their lap times on the right, I think, are the last lap, not the fastest lap. So Eddie Peterson takes the win. Dave Maguire takes 2nd place, and Victor Cullen takes his first ever podium in 3rd place. Well done, Victor. Christopher Grimes again equally impressive in 4th place. Trevor Farrar, Gordon Kellett, and Simon Dean very impressive, holding back Michael Cullen there. Then Ronan McHale, right with them, Chris Jones. So we will see them back out again. Remember, they've both of the Fiesta classes, in fact all the classes racing here at the ICCR will have 2 races today, so they'll all be back on track later on. So we were taking a break now for a quick spot of lunch, and we will be back with the Irish touring cars, the Irish Supercars, and Seat Super Cup Ireland all on track together at about 5 minutes past 2.